What up? It's your man, Boss Gang VIP, one of the leaders at Alpha Pack Trading Group, and I am ready to have a wonderful week. Last week was wonderful as we expected it to be. Regardless of what the market is doing, it only matters where you're positioned in the plays that you're in and with the pack. We have a tendency to be in the right plays at the right time. As we know, we had Jerome Powell. He came out and spoke at the Jackson Hole meeting. Inflation is still very, very high right now. He wants to get that down. They still have the target rate of 2%. So some people say there's going to be a pause on the interest rate hikes. Some people say we're still going to get increasing interest rates in the future. I'm excited to see what happens. Regardless of what happens, we are going to be prepared. I personally believe there is a rotation into defensive stocks. It didn't just start. I believe institutions have been positioning themselves. At Alpha Pack Trading, we've been positioning ourselves as well. We're able to take advantage of setups in uranium, and there are even tickers for platinum that I gave out exclusively to pack members. Tickers like SB, SW, tickers like IMPUI and NGLOY. Add those to your watch list. Without further ado, I know why you're here. Let's get to the money. First ticker I'm going to be looking at is ticker symbol ARRY. I'm looking for a double inside week break above $22.92. The next ticker I'm going to be looking at is FLR. On FLR, I am looking for a 2-1-2 week above $34.15. Next ticker I am going to be looking at is Chunky Soup, Campbell's Chunky Soup. I am looking for a 2-2 week reversal back to the upside above $42.51. Campbell's actually triggered a 2 down on the year at $41.76. It pushed up inside a Broadner formation. So let's see if we can get the reversal on CPB, Chunky Campbell Soup. Next ticker, Kimberly-Clark, KMB, one of my favorites. I am actually looking for a 2-2 day on Kimberly-Clark, KMB, above $129.69. How about we look at some bonds, HYG. I am looking for entries on HYG 2-2 week above $74.82. Next ticker I'm going to be looking at is UBS. UBS has been super strong. This is a continuation, so got to be careful on this one. We got the shooter hammer combo on the day. I'm looking at entries above $24.66. So those are a lot of the plays I think are going to be pretty defensive right now. So as far as downside, I am looking at Zillow. Zillow has been super, super weak. So I am looking for a downside move on Zillow below $49.37. So that is my watch list for this week. If you guys have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments down below. If you are interested in learning about dividends, stocks, and the right shares to get to create income for yourself, Alpha Pack is the place to come to help you out. We have members in stocks like ET. You may be familiar with it, you may not. Stocks like PBR, these are stocks that pay really, really high dividends, and they're fundamentally sound companies that have tons of money. With that being said, I'm looking forward to having another great week. Follow me on social media, Boss Gang VIP. And if you haven't already, visit our website, www.alphabacktrading.com. Catch up with you next time. I'm out. Peace.
Yo, what's good with it, Pack family? This your boy, Mr. Check My Resume. I'm here to bring you my watch list for the week of August the 28th. So without any delays, we're going to get right into the plays. So the first one we're going to get into is Procter & Gamble. I want to point out the fact that we are in a period where we had a little bit of bearish activity the last couple of weeks, and we're at a point where there's some tickers and some sectors that are looking to continue to push down. But then we also see some, buying and things of that nature kind of coming to some of these defensive stocks. So we're seeing a little bit of shift and rotation in terms of where the money's going. So we'll be paying attention closely to that. But we do see some downside action on some sectors as well. Without any delays, though, we're gonna get right into the play. First one here we got on the list is Procter & Gamble. So with Procter & Gamble, I'm looking at two setups in particular. Actually, the week setup is really what I want to take care of, so I won't mention the day. But we do have an opportunity for a daily rev strat on the day here also. But I'm looking for the week trigger. The daily rev strat is at 154.08. So you could take that 2-2 rev to the upside if you wanted to get an earlier entry. But I'm really looking for this 2-2 rev on the week here above this 154.68. I want to get a little bit of confirmation before I take entry on that one, but I am looking at this one to initially get back to 156, maybe end up with a little bit of consolidation there, and then move up to about the 160 level here on Procter & Gamble. So that's the first one I have on my list, and I'll be looking at staples as a whole as well, not only Procter & Gamble, but this is the one that's really setting up nicely for next week. So moving on into the next setup here, we want to get over into the utility sector. Another defensive area I'm looking at. It's a couple different things that I want to point out here on the SO. This is a trade that I'm currently holding positions in. Just been at a point where I've been consolidating positions since we had this pull down a couple weeks back. So just been adding into a position, looking for a move off of these lows. So we're at a point now where it looks like buyers are starting to take a little bit of interest and move the price back up. We took some lows last week. I believe this level was, if I'm not mistaken, 67.14. So just looking at a real strat potentially up that above 68.64. So that is SO. Let me pull up the chart here for you all. And so with that, we're looking for an opportunity to take this one to the upside back to the $70 range, maybe even up to 70. So that's that one. Wrap up our initial setup here on SO, but I did also want to talk about the inside day setup. We got a 212 here on the day above 68.44. We do have a weekly level broadening formation right at that trigger level. So if you wanted to be a little bit more patient, maybe you could wait on the week trigger. But I am also eyeing that 212 here off the lows. It looks like we're pushing back above a monthly level broadening formation. And then from there, we could probably make our ways up to like $71, maybe even up to like 73 range if we really want to be strong here over like the next 3-4 weeks or so. So looking at this SO, looking at also potential for this one to kind of push past our normal rotational period, which is typically ends around September expirations. But the way the market has been and some of these macroeconomic factors, we may be looking at utilities to kind of push beyond that period. So I'll be monitoring that one. There's a lot of open interest in those November setups or contracts. So there's something cooking over here with SO. But we're in at a low point, so we just want to be smart and manage the position accordingly. But if you're not in, this is a good opportunity to take an entry off of these lows. So that's PG. And then we're going to move along here, get into the energy sector. We've been playing energy pretty strong here. The last couple of weeks, we took some PBR entries. Those went over 1,000%. We took entry maybe 2 weeks ago. They went over 1,000% this week off the major gap up. Also with ET, we took entry on ET this week, and the ET setup just went berserk. It really ended the week really strong. We're looking for more continuation on energy going into next week. So the ticker that I see this week that could potentially move up as well, I'm looking at VLO. It is Valero. So many of y'all might be familiar with that ticker if you get gas at that gas station there. But we are looking at a 122 here on the week. And we are looking at some levels here on the week above 135.78. And so I'll be looking to take that entry initially, try to get to those swing highs of about 143.35, then potentially push up to about the 148 range. There's also another setup here, potentially on the quarter. You've got a rev strat here on the quarter. What level is this? We've got a level of 142.26. That we could take the quarter back to rev strat, 2 up, and we're already 2 up in force on the month. So next week we open up green, we flip the week, we'll be back in full time frame continuity to the upside, and I expect nothing but bullish activity if we do get that trigger. And then the last one that I'm going to talk to you about this week will be in the industrial sector, and this is one that we played earlier in the year. If you guys are familiar with GE, this is one that we made bank on during the year. It's just been going stupid all damn year, and it's just paid the pack really well. So really proud of that setup and the way it's performed this year. We've kind of laid off of it over the last like month or two. It kind of hit some highs, and so we kind of felt like, hey, it may start to retrace a little bit. It didn't exactly give you like a full-on retracement. It kind of pulled back a little bit on the week levels. So this past week or 2 weeks, we did get an outside week 2 weeks ago, followed by an inside week this week or this past week. And you guys know my thought process when I get those outside weeks, especially when we're in an uptrend like we have been in GE. My mindset tells me TTO. So I'm looking for Chicago here to the upside on GE. And let me get the chart up for you so you can see what I'm talking about here. But first, before I get into more of the week setup, looking at first and foremost, there's a 322 on the day. Like again, I love bearish threes. Bearish threes tell me there's a potential for this thing to go back the other direction to the upside. And in the scenario of what we're looking at on GE, if you go down to the week's outside candle, that signals to me like it's going to be a TTO versus a full-on reversal back the other direction. So the same thought process applies here on the day. We've got the outside day followed by the 2 down hammer. So my expectation is that we go 322, 2 up on this week or potentially Monday to the upside above 112.37. But then if you want to be more patient, you're a little bit more methodical with it, maybe you take the week trigger 312 to the upside above 113.96. And then I'd be looking for this one to take some levels initially, get back to the previous 2 week high of 115.85, and then potentially get back into that 117, 118 range to kind of, push this move up. I'm not really looking for a long-term setup on here, so I may be going to next month expirations, maybe October, but I'm really looking at next month's expiration as a target time frame for this one. We're still inside on the month. I'm not too concerned with that, understanding that we can flip the month back green here at 113.69 as well. So we're about, a little under $2 away. Honestly, if we get this rev strat back, this Chicago to the upside at 115.85, we will have already turned the month back green, and so we'd be back in full time frame continuity on all time frames. So it's one of those things we talk about in the pack in terms of taking setups that may not be in full time frame continuity initially, but as you take the setup and the trade moves according to your plan, you could be in a situation where you're trading into continuity, and those are the things we like to look for on TTOs and reversals. And so with that, pack family, that'll conclude my watch list, and I'll turn it back over to the bros. Y'all have a great rest of y'all weekend, and I'll catch y'all on Monday. Peace.